Hello everyone, my name is Veer and this is the fourth part of Selenium WebDriver architecture explanation series. So in this video we are going to see more Selenium commands and their internal behavior. So without wasting a time, let's get started. So let's try to understand more Selenium commands and their internal behavior. So in this video we are going to see how get cookie by a particular name command internally works. Then text screenshot of an element, get window handle, then create new window, get window handles. Like if you had opened multiple windows, then how we can get the multiple window handles and switch to window. So how these commands internally work we'll going to see in this particular video. So quickly what I'll do, I'll flip to postman and from there we can go ahead. Okay, so before that, I will also start Selenium standalone server on my local machine so that we will have one server ready where we can send the command. So if you could see, the session had started on this particular IP address on this particular port 4444. So what I'll do, I'll first of all I'll create a session because that is required in order to understand the commands. Okay, so let's say first of all I'll create a session and I'll keep windows side by side so that you can see the execution in one window and the commands in other window. So I'll keep like this. Okay, so if you could see, when I say create session, a new session for Chrome has been created. Now let's try to execute other command where we'll open a URL in this particular session. So if you could see, now we got the window opened with this particular URL. Now in the previous, if you have not watched my previous videos, in the last video we had seen how you can get all cookies. Okay, so I'll quickly once again repeat that particular part. So the command is, or the query parameter that you need to pass is cookie, and you can just hit this. So it will give you all the cookies that are present. Okay, now let's say out of these cookies, if you wanted to if you wanted to find a particular cookie. Okay, there are some cases where you wanted to get certain cookie values from a browser session, right? So in that case you need a single cookie instead of multiple cookies that are present for the website. Okay, so for that what you can do is you have a other command which will give you a single cookie. So for that what you need to pass is session followed by session ID, cookie followed by cookie name. So in this uh, get all cookies, we got different cookies with their name. Okay, so if you could see, right, the name for this cookie is underscore GA. Now let's pass that cookie name. So here if you could see, I have passed the value as a underscore GA, and let's try to see whether we get that particular value return or not. So if you could see, it has returned me a single cookie with its details like domain, expiry, HTTP only, and all other details for that particular single cookie. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now the next command that we generally use across the projects with when we say Selenium. Okay, so that is nothing but taking a screenshot. Okay, now let's see how this particular command works internally. So whenever you use the text screenshot method, right? So basically what it basically does, it gives a get API call, and it what you need to have the information in order to capture that is the session ID followed by what you wanted to do, the screenshot. So this will take the screenshot of entire page. Okay, this will take a screenshot of entire page, and let's see what response we get when we execute this particular command. So whenever you execute this particular command, right, so it will give you a base 64 string basically. Okay, it will return you a base 64 string of the image, and you write certain custom code in order to convert this particular image and save it into a file. Okay, now let's try to see how this, whether we are getting the image or not. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this entire text. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll open up a browser window, and in the browser what I'll do, I'll open one website called as base 64 guru. So what this website does is it takes a string in base 64 format and returns you a image, processed image. Okay, oh sorry, I think I have copied the entire text, so I just need to copy the string. Okay, so if you could see, it has given me the entire page, right? So that means our command is working properly. So text screenshot, what it does, basically it does take a screenshot and gives you a base 64 image, and then you encode that and you save it in PNG or JPG format. Okay, now let's go ahead and see the other command. Okay, so the other command that we were seeing was the text screenshot of an element. Okay, so this command remains the same. The additional information that you need to pass is the element ID, for which element you wanted to take a screenshot. So here what we'll do, I will try to find out one of the active element, that is nothing but this particular let's say admin text box. Okay, and let's try to find that particular element ID. Okay, so this is the element ID, and that need to be passed whenever you are taking a screenshot. So I have kept this value in element ID variable. Now let's try to execute the same. So if you could see, again it has returned me one base 64 string. Okay, now let's copy this again and go back to the that website where we had seen the preview of an image. Now let's delete this particular part and again paste the new one. Okay, and let's see what it gives. So if you could see over here, right, it has given you a screenshot of that text box only. Okay, so this is how the text screenshot and text screenshot of a element command works. Okay, now let's move on to the next commands uh, that I wanted to explain. So one of the other most used command is getting the window handle. Okay, so for this what you need to do, you have to pass the session then followed by the session ID and window. As you wanted to get window handle, you have to pass the window. Okay, so when you do this, it will return you one string. Okay, which is the combination of numbers and letters. Okay, so this will give you the current context or current window handle. Okay, now let's say you wanted to create a new window. So again, it's a post request. Okay, so for that what you need to do is uh, session followed by session ID, window, then new, as you wanted to create a new window. Okay, so for that you can use the slash new, and it requires a body. In body what you need to pass is the window. Okay, so window handle basically. So window handle is of the parent control set. I'll just do the control set. We need to pass the window handle of parent window. Okay, so this is the window handle. Okay, and I'll pass that over here. Now let's try to execute this request. So if you could see, one new tab, blank tab has been created. Okay, Now let's say you wanted to operate on the newly created window. So if you could see, there is no uh, where URL opened over here. Let's say you wanted to do certain actions over there. Okay, so what you can do is you can uh, so if you could see, right, whenever you created this particular new window, it has returned me a window handle. Okay, so this is nothing but that uniquely identifies this is the new tab. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just copy this because it will be required when you wanted to switch to a window. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go to the switch to window command. Again, this is pretty straightforward. What you need to do is you need to have a session ID, then slash window, and then you have to pass a window handle where you wanted to switch. So I'll just copy this, I'll save it, and I'll execute. So if you could see, I had now switched to a new tab or a new window. Okay, now let's try to open a URL. Okay, so let's say instead of admin demo, let's say I open https://www.google.com and save it and send. So if you could see on a new window now, I had a Google website opened. Okay, so till now we are interacting with single window. Now we had created another window, so we have now two window. So these two windows now have two different window handles. Now let's see how we can get the window handles. Okay, so again, this command is pretty straightforward. It is a get command. What you need is a session ID, window, and then handles, because it will return you a multiple handles. So if you could see, if when I hit send button, it returns me two window handles because we had two windows opened. One where we had opened the admin demo noob commerce, and you know other where I opened google.com. Okay, now this whenever we created a window, right, we opened a window in a tab. Okay, now let's say you wanted to, instead of tab, let's say you wanted to create a altogether different window, a new window. Okay, so how you can do that? So if you could see this type parameter, right, here you can specify a window. So what it will do, it will open a completely new browser window instead of opening a tab. Okay, now let's see whether that is working fine or not. So if you could see, it has opened me another browser session. Now let's go back to the getWindowHandles command. So if you could see, it has returned me two window handles. Now ideally it should return, whenever I execute this, it should return me three window handles. Okay, let's see whether it is returning me three window handles or not. So I'll execute this. So if you could see now, right, I have three window handles return. So that's it for this video, guys. So happy learning and stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching.